Yeah, I understand. You guys have been really committed. It's not about just getting bigger, but getting better before scaling. So talk a little bit about your views on this.
With 8 locations, I feel like we're still kind of in this like infancy stage, even though we just celebrated our 25th anniversary in business,
Right.
but we're maybe just starting to act our age too, right? And like a 25-year-old, like, okay, hey, I think I'm at this point where make wise decisions. I've got kids coming along. Let's train them up in the right way and set some like good, long-term strategic goals and plans. So I recognize that there's a need for our service in every state, and there's certain things that we're doing that we feel we can do really well, and we could kind of quickly try to expand in many places, but I just don't feel confident up till this point that we would have offered the best support to people. We would have got a whole bunch of people signed up.
Hmm.
Um, but not really. It would have been really about us instead of about them. And our motto is it's not about me, and it's about our customer. And in this case, with franchising, our customer is that franchise partner that they've invested a lot into it. They've in many cases, like, they're all in, right? And they have long-term plans for this to succeed. And not only that, they every one of them, they have family at home. And I saw my parents struggling without support, and they made it, but it was brutal, like one more piece of bad news from the city or a supplier or a fire or something like that.
Right.
That's it. You're done. Like, you're bankrupt. And I think I just kind of carry that weight with me. I just do not want to expand so fast that we even run the risk of getting someone in place that's just not the right fit, or that's not, they're not well capitalized, or just not well prepared. And so we're not going to set any like franchise growth records at all,
Right.
but
That's
I,
fine.
I really would like to go as almost as slow as we possibly can, almost where people are begging us, please, can we talk about Utah or something like that,
Right.
and I, I think that's probably is our style, at least I think, until you get maybe into the like 15, 20 locations where you just feel that there's just this momentum and this wave that we're riding.
Yeah,
So
sure.
yeah.
So who is your ideal franchise owner?
It's probably someone that they want to work in the business. They at least initially.
Mhm.
It's often a husband and wife team, or siblings that want to work together. One that's maybe more hands-on, working with customers. One that's more strategic, working on the business. It's not a cheap business to get into, like, because every time you get a new customer, you need another box, another portable storage box, right? So the investment is something that someone's going to be prepared for. On the low end, you'd be at $250,000 starting up, but you could be, the more successful you are, the sooner you're into $1 million, right, of inventory. And we believe it's somebody that really wants to work it, build that foundation to get that first 100 rentals going, and that residual income of 100 rentals in your fleet. And then at that point, you're really shifting to ownership mindset, and focus on growing the company and pouring into your team members.
Sure. So I would imagine you get this question all the time. It's like, all right, Ross, what's the difference between Get Simple Box and Pods?
Yeah, yeah. We love. I mean, our competition. We really do love them because Pods is probably the best competitor you could ever have. They'll advertise on the Super Bowl, right?
Hmm.
Even though there's so many areas that we serve that they just will not deliver to, and so people call us up saying, "Yeah, I want one of the one of those pods." We wouldn't advertise as that, but they definitely do such a great job of just kind of building that awareness, and letting people know, like, oh, this is an actual thing, portable storage, and it's super convenient. And so we love them. Where we're quite different from Pods is the ability to buy a box, not just rent a box. A lot of contractors and property owners they say like, hey, I want the storage, but I'm not going to pay you rent for it. I'll just buy it. And then when I'm done with it, could you help me pick it up and move it to a new place? And so we offer the option to rent, buy, and move. And that's one thing that sets us apart. Other big competition is Mobile Mini. They're really one of the biggest container companies in the world. And they're, again, wonderful company, excellent branding. They do like kind of nationwide sales, even in locations where they just can't service the customer, and so they end up contacting us to subcontract the service of the customer. So we kind of find this little niche in just not being so big, that we can serve at the local level. And similar with them, they do a great job of targeting that like ultimate high-end buyer or project manager for every Target renovation or Walmart renovation in the country, and we just wouldn't have the bandwidth to do that, or the guts probably to go for it. But we'll serve them, help them meet the storage needs of big companies that are working on construction or renovation projects, or just need extra inventory storage. But then we'll also serve a local, like we could bring a box right to your house for you. And some of our competition, they just don't deal with onesie twosie customers like that. They just want to deal in bulk. So yeah, that's probably the core difference as far as who we serve. And then the biggest thing is just customer service. In each of those companies, really every competitor that I think we go against, we're here in Florida. You make that phone call, hey, can I get my box delivered? But you're talking to someone who's in Maine, and it might be routed to a call center of someone, they don't know you, they don't know the neighborhoods. And we just have this emphasis. We want to be local, professional, and kind. And that kindness should just come through in the way that we show care and concern for our customers, and local, in that we're supporting local ball clubs and in schools and supporting local businesses.
That's awesome. What does a day in the life look like? Typical day in the life of a franchisee?
It starts probably by looking at the calendar. Everything we do is what's on tap for today as far as deliveries, and so it probably starts by seeing where the truck's headed, is the inventory ready to go, and we do that the night before too, just getting things staged. But then from there, it's often we do a daily huddle, all team huddle in the morning, and we do that at each local level, just a quick 5-10 minute huddle, and then it's going to be responding to quote requests and leads that have come in over the past evening, and doing some follow-ups. Hopefully getting out in the community, Chamber of Commerce, builders associations, connecting with realtors and things like that. As a team, we run on EOS. It's kind of just a method for running meetings and we're solving issues and things like that. So we do daily huddles, weekly level 10 meetings. That's just solving issues, keeping focused on rocks and goals. And then we do a monthly all team meeting where we join together across all the regions and just share kind of wins and challenges and high fives and things like that. And then quarterly, our franchise partners get together for we actually have one later on today. Franchise get together just nice. To do some kind of learning together and share issues and opportunities at the kind of franchise ownership level, and then an annual convention. But we're kind of always just thinking about customer first, and then every day and every week there's an opportunity to connect with other team members and others in the company, and then also there's a kind of a weekly opportunity to learn something new when it comes to leadership or a new skill or something like that.
Okay, how many people are part of your team?
We have 9 in the corporate side of things, and that includes me. Kind of a mix of administrative, marketing, and operations, and then I join in all of it except for admin. It's just not a strength at all. So.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its hosts do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.